Hey guys, so here we are. I haven't had too much time on this over the holidays, but I think the mechanical build is about done. The motors are all wired up. One of the problems with this being an open source type project is you get a lot of bits, but it isn't all held together as a complete system. So I thought because I have so little space, I need to build some sort of a platform to put this thing on. So this is what I came up with. So on this side we have the power supply and the motor controller and PC interface. And so what I've done is I put them on a sliding baseboard because you need to do some adjustments in here on the stepper motor current. So when it's up and running, I'll have to temporarily take the cover off here with the fan and just tweak the trim pots to make sure it's okay. At least this way the whole thing is a single unit, and I don't have to worry about stuff flopping around and cables falling out and so on and so on. And the stepper motor cables themselves are very heavy duty. The wire is very stiff, it's very hard to manipulate, and so putting all this together was it wasn't exactly a pleasant chore, let me put it that way. Still, we're almost ready for power up. I had a slight challenge with the router, fitting the router. I don't know if the US version is the same as the European one, but when I put this in, it tended to foul the back plate. So the back plate fouled with this part of the router housing, which meant that the cylindrical part here was being held away from the collar, which means the router wouldn't be parallel to the mounting plate. Luckily it was only a tiny amount, like less than half a mil, and so I just filed off this plastic that's around the decal, and it seemed to let it go through. So I think we're all good. I've wired everything up. I've wired up the standard motor that it comes with, just in case I decide to install that later. And I have fitted all these limit switches, which most people say that have reviewed it say you don't really need them. And in fact, it can be problematic because they're not screened cable. They can pick up interference from the stepper motors, which gives you false readings, which can completely screw up carving work that's in progress. So as I say, I thought I'll fit it all, but I'll probably end up just unplugging this plug here and not using these limit switches once I get comfortable with how to drive this thing. So next step up will be hook it up to a computer. Oh yes, the power, the AC power to the power brick here. I don't like the way that just comes straight in from the front. So I've ordered up a right-angled AC connector here so that I can route the cable down the side here and take it out the back or over on the side corner at the back. Since I'm using my own router, this signaling here is for the standard motor that you can get with it, which I don't have. But I've got plenty of room around the back here. If I want to put some relays and things to take these signals and use them to turn on the DeWalt router. So that's it. Hopefully I'll get to do a quick power up of this before it's Saturday evening now, and a day job comes crashing back in on Monday morning, and so I probably won't have too much time for this once that happens. So I'll see if I can get at least to the point where I give it a first power up. Okay guys, well it's getting a bit late now on Sunday evening, and the day job starts tomorrow. So here's how we got to. It's powered up for the first time. And we almost made it. There's one problem, but the basics are working okay. So I'm just running the test software from the PC, which will let you move the spindle in all the different axes. So you can move it down, I can move it up, can move it forward, can move it backwards, and I can move it from side to side. However, as I said earlier, I had a little problem with the router fouling the mounting plate, and I filed a little bit of plastic off the router housing to get away with it, or so I thought. Not that easy, unfortunately, because as the router moves back up again, it encounters that bloody plate again, and it's not quite clearing it, and so it actually jams against the plate and the motor starts to stall. And so I can't get to do what they call the homing routine, where it drives each of the motors until it hits the limit switches. So I have to do some more work to make sure this router fits properly and moves up and down correctly before I go any further. But it's looking good at this stage. I'm sure that's not going to be a mountain of a job to fix it, but as I said, it's getting quite late now, so I think we'll call it quits for tonight, and I'll see if I can get this uploaded, and I'm not sure when I'll get to play with this again, but yeah, so far so good. I have incidentally ordered up a whole lot of cutters and things, because when I got this I hadn't researched what type of cutting bits and tools I would need, so I got a better handle on it now for what I intend to use it for. So I got a whole different sets of cutters for PCB making, for working on aluminium, and so on and so on. And so when they all get in here, hopefully we'll be good. Now, the one other thing I need to do before we're finally good to go is check the runout on the spindle of the router. Because if there's any appreciable run out on the spindle of the router, doing PCBs is not going to be practical. Hopefully that'll be okay. Anyway guys, that's it for now. More to come later on.